Implementing in-app purchases in SwiftUI is challenging because of the complexities of managing the StoreKit framework, handling various purchase states, and ensuring a smooth user experience across devices and app states. Additionally, it requires careful management of asynchronous processes and error handling. This video offers a comprehensive guide breaking down these challenges into manageable steps and providing practical solutions, equipping you with the tools and knowledge to successfully integrate in-app purchases in a SwiftUI app. Today we are going to talk about consumable in-app purchases and subscriptions. If you just tuned in, make sure to check out the link in the description for the whole playlist. There's a previous video where we set up all the in-app purchases and I implemented basically StoreKit Pro. It's at store.rebeloper.com/StoreKit Pro, and take a look at the coupon code. It's 5. Link is down in the description for ease of use, 50% off. Now, we left off by adding this handy StoreKit Pro view modifier, which actually listens to the product changes. And it will say it's whether active or inactive or all the other states. I just set this up for the default, but there are a lot other states that you might want to listen to. Just basically the active and inactive is really good for our cases. And also we have set up the consumable informations, the non-consumable informations. We are going to talk about these in more detail today. So the consumable information is just basically setting up how many, in our case, coins should we give the user if they bought the coin in-app purchase. And for the non-renewables, it's basically how many, which is the basic duration of this weekly non-renewable in-app purchase. And in our case, it's just 1 week. Remember, this is all being saved in the keychain, so it will be accessible through the user's other devices too. So it's really powerful. Are you an aspiring iOS developer? Partner with me as your mentor at rebeloper.com/mentoring and give your career a boost. With my expansive industry experience and in-depth knowledge of iOS development, you'll gain practical insights, stay updated in industry trends, and learn efficient coding strategies. Let's elevate your iOS journey together. Join me at rebeloper.com/mentoring. Okay, so let's continue. Make sure that you check out the other YouTube video also if you want to learn more how all of this is set up. So today we are going to set up the but first of all, we are going to talk about the consumables and then about the subscriptions. So let's just go into our content view. Remember, we already set up the StoreKit Pro listener, you might say, and we are going to actually let me just build and run this so you can see how this content view looks like. We are going to go into the products view and we are going to listen to some consumables. So let's just see, it's just building and running. Basically we have all of these buttons. And yeah, let's just log in here. Yeah, make sure that you are actually logged in. It's really important. It's just synchronizing all of this with App Store. So let's sign in. Hopefully I typed out my password correctly. And this is how you do it. Let's just go back. And see, here we have bought one consumable in-app purchase and it gave us 10 coins. So let's just do that one more time so you can see that here we're just going to buy one consumable product, which is 10 coins. That is what we have set up. And if we just take a look at it, we have 20 coins. And yeah, please feel to take a look at also the logs right over here. It just listening to all of the changes that we have for the in-app purchases. Okay, so next up, we want to consume. If we are going to tap on this button right over here, we should consume some consumables. And of course, that should be stored on the keychain and all of that stuff. So For that, we need to grab an environment so we can use it from, StoreKit Pro. And it's a really straightforward @environment /dot, and you will have a StoreKit Pro environment, a private var, and let's just name this also StoreKit Pro. So just grab the environment. You don't have to set it up. If you are listening to your StoreKit Pro purchases, in-app purchases, then everything is taken care of. Okay, so now that we have that environment, we can go scroll down all the way to the consume cones. There we go. It's asynchronous throwing function, so I just have this task and the do catch statement right over here. We want to say try await StoreKit Pro dot consume, and as you can see we have this consume 4 and consume amount with a 4 and should force consume. Now what does this should force consume mean? Let's just choose this one, and let's consume. It's a double, so it's really nice. You could let's just go with 6 right over here, 6.0, whatever you feel like it. And then for the string, we want to add in the in-app purchase that we want to consume. In our case, it will be our products dot coin. That's the in-app purchase ID for that. And should consume, let's just set this to true. By default, this is set to false. Now, what does this mean? Well, we have 20 coins currently, and we're going to consume 6. That means that we're going to be left with 14, then we're going to consume another 6, that's 8, and then another 6, that's 2. And when we have 2 and we're trying to consume 6, if this is set to true, should force consume to true, then it will consume those 2, and then even if we are trying to consume 6, it will consume those. If this is left to false, or we are just going to set this to false, if we have 2 of them, 2 coins, and we are trying to consume 6, we will not be able to consume those. So depending on your use case, you can just select true or false over here, or just leave it to false by not adding any value for the should force consume at all. Okay, so beta succeeded. Now let's consume 14, 8, 2, and now because we have set this to true, it should just go down to 0. There we go. Let's just try another one. There we go. Okay, and then we have 10. They're really nice. And let's just leave this. So just use the default value of false. Let's build and run and see that now after we consume the initial 6, now we have 4. We could not consume 6, of course, because we only have 4. If I tap over here, I'm tapping it really hard, we will not be able to consume the remaining not necessary enough coins. So that's great. Also, we want to tackle the non-renewable right over here. So over here we can see the weekly one. So let's just have some information set up on the non-renewables. So if you take a look at this, we have this section, non-renewable, is non-renewable active? And if it's active, then we want to display its non-renewable expiration date string. Now all of this is stored in the in-app storage automatically when you are buying a non-renewable. It's stored as the coins, the consumables are. Now we are storing the coins on the in-app purchase ID, as we are also storing the non-renewables on their in-app purchase ID. And it's basically a string. On the coins, it's a double, it's an amount for the consumables. Now for the non-renewables, we are storing the actual date that this non-renewable will expire on. And that's why I'm calling it non-renewable expiration date string. So yeah, the app storage key is the actual ID for it. So that's how it's set up right over here. Okay, so that's what I'm presenting right over here. But what is this is non-renewable active? Well, this is a state variable set up right over here. And we need to actually fetch this because we know the actual date when the non-renewable will expire. But is it active? Well, we want to compare the current date to this strings date, but StoreKit Pro has you covered for that. So whenever this view appears, I just want to say, is non-renewable active? You know, the state variable, true or false. I'm just going to say that non-renewable expiration date string, which is the app storage. This is a string, and I'm just going to ask for it. Is non-renewable active? And it's as simple as that. Just one line of code, and we know true or false. Is it active or not? So it's really nice. Also, we want to listen to the changes. So it's the same thing when we are changing the non-renewable expiration date string. Maybe we just purchase a new non-renewable. Then we are going to listen to it like so. So we are going to grab the new value. Well, actually, it's on change a new value. And then again, it's that is non-renewable active. And we're going to set it to the is non-renewable active state variable. So it's simple as that. So let's build and run, and let's see all of this in action. So as you can see, currently we have a non-renewable, which is active. Its expiration date is set to Saturday, is the first one. Now let's just try to buy a new one, weekly, subscribe. Let's just buy that. Okay, as you can see, now it's active, and it should have set the new, expiration date. There we go. It's Saturday, the 8th of June. So we just appended to the current one. Non-renewable is active. Now, if we are going to, it's just going to expire, then we can just simply state that it's a non-active and, show your content accordingly. Okay. So also there are some other extra functions that you can use. Let's just go to our StoreKit profile, and right over here in the StoreKit Pro, if you just scroll down, you will see some other really handy functions. So you can just fetch the amount for a particular consumable. You can add to a particular consumable. Maybe you are not buying, you just give away some free coins, then just use the add amount. Also, we can, this is how we consume, you already seen that. You can also delete consumables, delete basically the whole consumable for that. And we can grab the expiration date for a particular non-renewable. All of these, as you can see, there are the IDs. And basically that's it. Feel free to use them if you need to outside of the regular context. Those are the consumables, the non-renewables, and now it's time to talk about the subscriptions. So as you saw previously in the previous video, we built all of these purchases with the handy new StoreKit frameworks store view and then the products view because they were a little bit more convenient. And we are going to build out our StoreKit subscriptions view with the help of the subscription store view. So let's just do that. You can do this, by the way, if you are not using StoreKit Pro. StoreKit Pro is just a really nice helper for listening for all of the purchases. SwiftUI, basically the StoreKit framework, gives us the means to purchase. It's not listening. We have those view modifiers, but they're kind of cumbersome to use. If you Googled around, you know what I mean. Let's just build out our subscription store view. Currently, it's just a hello world. And if we just tap on the subscriptions, it's just this one. Okay, so here comes the fun part. Let's import StoreKit, because we are going to use our StoreKit subscription store view. Let's put all of this into a VStack. I prefer everything inside a VStack because it's much cleaner. And then we are going to have a subscription store view. And there are some options right over here. We are going to use the one with the product IDs because basically that's the most convenient. And also the one with product IDs, let's just see product IDs and the marketing content. So where is that product IDs? There we go, product IDs and marketing content. Why I'm choosing this instead of the others? Well, this is the most flexible one. We're going to add all of the product IDs that we need and the marketing content is on the top. It's basically any view that you want to create right over here. There's also a group ID if you have one group. Currently in this example, yes, we also have one group ID, but you know, this is more flexible. So let's choose this one. Product IDs. It has to be a collection. So let's just add our products dot monthly and then products dot yearly. And if you wonder how all of this is set up, go ahead and take a look at the previous video. The link for the whole playlist is down in the description. So here we have our marketing content. And basically, you could just add anything right over here. For now, let's just leave it as is. And let's see how this looks like. Because you see, with just a few lines of code, we just added a whole store. And yeah, this is really, really handy. You can see, you can subscribe for monthly, yearly. I think we are missing some yearly metadata. Let's just double check on that. Let's just go under the yearly and scroll down. Yes, the localization, we just missed that. So let's just have this as yearly and on the description, yearly access. Okay, so all of this we done in the previous video besides the yearly localization. So let's build and run so we can make sure that all of that works. Subscriptions, there we go, we have that, and it's really nice, but we can do a lot more right over here. We can manage the subscriptions, we can restore the purchases, we have a lot to customize. So let's just have a little bit of look up at that header that we are going to customize. Let's have a VStack right over here because we are going to add more views. Well, let me just stop this and then have a lot more for the code to show. Okay, so we are going to have an image, why not, an image of a system named crown. And let's have this with a font of really light system style 150 and then foreground style of white, because I'm going to add also what's it called? Yes, it's a container background. So let's have a container background. And I'm going to use the one with the style and for, where the style is basically some sort of a color or a gradient or a material. I'm just going to go with purple and let's just make it with the gradient. And then for container background placement, we are going to add this to the subscription store header. Now, you can use this container background with the style and for the subscription store, for the full height, whatever you choose like it. I'm just going to go with this one in this example, but feel free to customize your store view with this background as much as you'd like. Okay, so we have that image, that's fine. And now let's just have a product. Yeah, let's just have a product. We are going to have a product view with a product ID. So let's just choose the ID. Let's just go with a lifetime because you see we have subscriptions. Maybe users want to have a lifetime. So let's just have a lifetime right over there. And we already learned how to customize the product view in the previous video. So let's just have a product view style of large right over here. I promise you, it will look really, really nice. For the matter of fact, let's just build and run. Let's see how all of these few changes look like. There we go. Much nicer than the previous one, right? And by the way, this is also scrollable. Yeah, access lifetime. We already purchased that in the previous video, so that's why it's grayed out, just so you know. Okay, so let's move forward. Let's add manage subscription sheet because it's really great for us to give this to the users. They don't have to go to the settings app. So for that, we are going to present a sheet. And of course, we need a state variable for that. At state private var. And I'm just going to copy it out from my notes because it's a long one. And I really like well-named properties. So that is managed subscription sheet presented. Okay, so that's how we do that. Now let's just use it. Let me just have some more room. We're going to have a button. And that button will have, let's say, manage subscription. There we go. And we are going to have as the action is manage subscription sheet presented dot toggle. Okay, so let's just style it a little bit more. Let's have a button style of plain. Come on, plain. There we go. Foreground style of white, and then a font of dot caption, and then make it bold, and let's bump it up a little bit from the product view. Let's have padding on the top. Okay, so now it's time to add the manage subscription sheet. Let's just go down over here and let's add manage subscription sheet. I'm not going to go with the subscription group ID. It's just going to use the default one. But yeah, feel free to choose whatever you'd like. And then we are going to bind it to that state variable is manage subscription sheet presented. So let's build and run and see how this looks like. So basically we are going to have a button right over here. As you can see, now we have that button. And if we tap on it, it will just show this default. Of course, we don't have any subscriptions. Well, actually, let's just buy one. Why not? Let's subscribe. Subscribe. There we go. We subscribed. You can see in the logs, we have that. Let's have that as okay. And we can just go back over there. And yeah, we can't subscribe. We can change the plan if we choose to, but let's manage the subscription. And there we go. We can also change it right over here if we wanted to. But, also we can cancel the subscription, which is really, really nice. One note right over here, when you are testing out your subscriptions, it's a really good idea to set up some configuration settings, and that is that subscription renewal date. You can set it to any renewal every 2 seconds. I usually go for every minute or 5 minutes, and it will just go ahead. It's really a nice thing to have. These configuration settings are so great for testing our in-app purchases locally. It's really amazing. Okay, let's go back. And now let's just add some policy text, like it's subscription store policy. So we are just going to have a subscription store policy. So there, as you can see, there are quite a lot right over here. We can go with the URL or with a destination, which is basically a view. Let's just go for this one. So the policy, let's just see what we have. We have a privacy policy and the terms of service. Let's just go for the terms of service right over here. Well, currently I'm just going to go for terms. Let's build and run and see how this looks like. Again, you can add in a URL and we'll just guide your users to that specific URL. And where is that? Well, we have, there we go. It's we want to set the store button. Let me just see, subscription control background. Yeah, we can see it right over here. At some point, I'm going to add, privacy policy unavailable because we do need to set them up. Let me just add also the privacy policy, and hopefully after I go through all of the options, we will be able to see the actual color. Let me just see content style. Yeah, we will see that in just a second. So let's just have a privacy policy, and we are going to have privacy. There we go. Let's build and run. Subscriptions. This is the terms, and this is the privacy. Okay, so we are going to add some more view modifiers. Hopefully I have that. So let's fix that. We don't have these kind of buttons right over here. We are going to add a subscription store policy, and there is this foreground style, and let's just have this for white, and that will fix those two buttons. Let's just see them. Subscriptions, there we go, terms of service and privacy policy. Privacy in terms of service. It's really, really nice. Okay, let's move forward. And you see all of these kind of pickers. Let's just customize the way we can pick between the plans. So let's just have a subscription store control style. So let's just go for control style. And as you can see, there are quite a lot right over here. I'm just going to go through the major ones. And I'm just going to go for maybe prominent picker. Let's just see the changes that we have. Subscriptions. There we go. As you can see, now the selected one is prominent, which is really nice. Also, we can add a background right over here. So let's add, again, a subscription store background. And this is the control background. We can also set the picker item background. I'm not going to do that for now. Let's just have... let's just have a linear background, linear gradient. So it will be really customized. So let's have a linear gradient with the colors. Let's just have maybe purple and white, dot purple, and then dot white. And the starting point will be on top and the ending point will be on the bottom. Okay. Let's see that. Now, you won't see, instead of the white, you will see that now it's purple. And I purposefully set this to purple because now it's just going in this really nicely. Okay, so you can choose whatever you'd like. Then we are going to talk about some buttons that we can add in here. And that's with the store button. And you can set its visibility basically, but if you want to see them, you can just set the visibility to visible. Now this could be set as a state variable and then you just toggle them according to your needs, according to state. Now the store button kind, this is really amazing because we have quite a lot. We have cancellation, policies, redeem code, restore purchases, and sign in. If you have, if you want the user to sign in to the purchased content. So let's just take a look at the redeem code. Now, I believe if you don't have the redeem code set up, we won't see this button, or we do, yes. There we go. You can just redeem the code, but, the sheet is going to pop up, but, we don't have any redeem code set up, so it's just going to be this sheet. Also, let's take a look at the other ones. So two more. Let's have the restore purchases and the cancellation. So really flexible, as you can see. So let's just go under the subscriptions, redeem code, restore subscription. Let's just go all the way down. We can restore the subscriptions. Okay. Cancellation, why isn't it showing up? For some reason it's not showing up. It does have its own logic, and most probably that's because it does not have anything to cancel just yet. And that's it. We have built, and as you can see it's scrollable, it's really nice. We have built our own StoreKit subscription view with a few lines of code, and this comes from StoreKit, the actual framework. That's why we needed to import this. But all of this, what you can see right over here, what we have, is it active or inactive? This is all set up from StoreKit Pro, and it's just a simple view modifier that you can listen to the changes in a purchase, purchases or cancellations, all of that stuff plus a bunch more that I talked about in this video. Now, if you did like this, go ahead and check out StoreKit Pro. The link is down in the description for a 50% off for the first 10 people.